Please welcome new director Tina Lepak from Stevens Point, Wisconsin to our stage. Here she is.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I get to talk about why I love the Pampered Chef, and there really are so many reasons. Let me start by sharing my story. Before I became a Pampered Chef consultant in October 2009, I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband, Brian, is a railroad conductor and works at night, so I was on my own with my daughter most of the time. I heard about the Pampered Chef from my sister, who raved about the products and would buy me a season's best from each show she attended. I loved the recipe books, but I didn't give the company much more thought until a friend invited me to her party. The invitation said that I could bring a friend, so I brought one of my closest friends, my mom. She had just moved to my town after my father passed away, and I thought it would be good for her to get out. While we were there, my mom elbowed me and said that I should have a party because she wanted to have one and didn't know anyone in town. I put off setting a date each time the consultant called, but eventually I set that date for that show, mostly because I'm my mom's best kid. Little did I know that that same friendly and persistent consultant that kept calling me would become my director, supporter, and friend. I joined the Pampered Chef because of my Aunt Marcy, who is perhaps the sweetest woman on the face of the earth. When my mom collected an outside order from my Aunt Marcy told my mom that I should sell Pampered Chef, and she added that I would be good at it. That's all it took. I found myself considering the business opportunity. I loved being a stay-at-home mom, and our family did not need the extra income. But I missed the structure, recognition, and adult contact found working outside the home. Pampered Chef is there to recognize us every step of the way, whereas no one told me what a good job I had done cleaning the toilet or picking up those toys. I told my husband that I wanted to try the business, but I was nervous. I remember him saying, "If you do the 4 shows and you don't like it, do you have to send the products back?" When I said no, he said, "Then what do you have to lose?" I'm the type of wife that would probably do something twice if my husband said no, but that encouragement early on meant the world to me. I had to overcome a lot to become a Pampered Chef consultant, and I did it by facing my fears and having fun. Up until now, I sound pretty normal, right? The reality is that before I became a Pampered Chef consultant, I was extremely anxious, and I had let my anxiety gradually make my world smaller and smaller. I took the job of being a stay-at-home mom way too literally. Unfortunately, I was so anxious that I refused to drive outside the exits of my town. My husband and I had stopped traveling, and I avoided almost every social function. There were times that I stayed home for a month at a time because of my anxiety. Even throughout my father's ugly battle with Parkinson's, I needed a ride each time that I went to see him, even though he was only an hour away. Going to the Pampered Chef party that I had been invited to was a big deal, but I wouldn't have gone if I couldn't bring a friend. Cooking has always been a big part of my family, and I knew my mom loved the products and would have a great time. I was excited enough about my Pampered Chef business that I was willing to step outside my comfort zone and face my fears. Early on, my successes were driving at night, driving in the snow, and driving outside the exits of my town. Even if you are not as crazy as I am, there is something that scares you and something that holds you back in this business. Be brave enough to be honest about what you are afraid of, and then tackle that fear. Starting out, I called my director like I was trying to win a radio contest. We are so lucky to have the directors that we do leading us each step of the way, but they can't read our minds, and they can't do the work for us. What they can do is offer support and guidance, and I will tell you that my director has earned every single penny she has earned in overrides from me. I've approached my Pampered Chef business by facing my fears, but the great part is that it has been so much fun along the way. I was scared on the way to each of my shows, but my policy was that once my apron was on, it was all fun and no worries. I had been to a direct sales party where the consultant acted as if she was doing everyone a favor by being there. And I wanted to make sure my hosts and guests had fun and felt appreciated. I plan on things going wrong. Some of my favorite show memories are when I accidentally shot an apple core into the crowd, and when my host couldn't find stone ground mustard in the store, so she beat mustard seeds in a Ziploc bag against her stone house. I've learned from the things that go wrong, but they're great opportunities to keep the fun in your cooking show. One time, I was showing my guests how fragrant fresh nutmeg is, and I passed around fresh nutmeg that had been grated with the microplane for people to sniff. One of the guests snorted it. We all laughed so hard, and that group of people is still hosting shows. When I share my story at my cooking shows, I tell my guests about my Aunt Marcy. And I joke that if they had a bad time tonight, they can get my number and call her and let her know she was wrong. So far, no one has asked for her number, which is great. We get paid to party and to make a recipe for people who love our products and love to eat. When I took my first commission check to the bank, I thought the bank would say, sorry, you can't have fun and get paid and get free products. Another exciting surprise for me is that this business has made me a better mom. I'm happier, which makes me nicer to my kids. I know I need to bump up my show schedule when my daughter looks at me and says, Mom, when is your next show? I know that she can recognize that I'm happier and more relaxed when my business is thriving. On top of the great free products I have earned through this business, the commission checks, and the great sales and recruiting incentives, I was lucky enough to earn the Taste of Travel trip to Nashville in October. My husband and I went and had a fantastic time. Pampered Chef took care of everything and treated us so well. I was also able to earn the Las Vegas trip and cannot wait to go in March. We're going to have a great time, but the real reward has literally been getting there for me. Whatever you want out of this business, whether it's more money, more personal growth, more recognition, or more time with your family, Pampered Chef can make it happen if you're willing to work, even if you're scared. My next goals are balancing my business with a new job. I was called this summer by our Catholic school system to teach art part-time at the middle school level. Thanks to this business, I have the confidence to take the leap and again, try something outside my comfort zone. Teaching has been a great reminder of how little work we do as consultants for a generous paycheck, but it has also expanded my circle of contacts. I'm now having shows with an entirely new group of people who are helping my business grow. I was excited to read in the recent consultant news that over 70% of consultants have another job, because that means I will be able to learn so much from them about how to balance work, a fun Pampered Chef business, and my growing family. I love the Pampered Chef because it has helped me face my fears and reclaim my life, and I can't wait to see where this business will take me. In closing, I want to thank my director, Tammy Seekert. Tammy is on her way to Ireland as we speak, but if she were here, this is what I would say to her now. Tammy, thank you for taking me on as a new consultant. You did not know what you were getting into with me on your team, but over the past 3 years, you have led me through every roadblock and celebrated every success in my business. Most of all, thank you for inspiring growth in my business by being a true leader in every way.
She made you laugh, she made you all. No, I'm serious. It was absolutely awesome. You did an amazing job. We appreciate you sharing that story with us. And you know what? That is such an inspiration. And honestly, you don't know the kind of people that you can help in this business. And this is an example of that. So I really want to thank you for sharing that story. Let's give her a big round of applause.